What's up? Yeah. It's all there. Man, she think your boy Snow slow. Boy, Snow ain't slow. Man, I don't know what's going on with Jeannie Mai. But I know she ain't gonna have that name Jenkins no time soon. She might think I'm cookie head Jenkins. I ain't cookie head. I know what's coming. Shoot. I see the move. Yeah. Go ahead, Cino. Tell them what's going on. All right. The snow melt your mouth. That's what he told her. Not in your hand, baby. You ain't keeping my bread. Now, here's what's going on. Everybody thinks this woman got blindsided. They think it's because of her nasty attitude that she claimed she had before she got with Jeezy. And that she learned how to be submissive to her husband. Now, and they said, oh, that's why he left. That mouth. Can't deal with all that mouth. So, anyhow, here's where the situation lies today, fellas. Because I want everybody to understand it and everything could be extremely clear with the scenarios. Now, when you start engaging in different acts or what you would call activities, you're looking at a situation in which people, the average human being, when they go through something, they have to go through the process immediately. When you're celebrities, everything is magnified. Everything is on display unless you really choose not to have it on display. Everyone saw that this was done back in June, signed and dated and all of these things by a judge that he has been actively seeking to get this divorce since the summer. Now, what he didn't want to do is go public. He was trying to do this quietly behind closed doors. And it's saying that she had 30 days to sign after being served. What Jeezy wanted to do was show the courts that, one, he has actively not been around. And it's been this long since he publicly went ahead and did all the things in the process of trying to eliminate this marriage that seemed to have taken a change since the birth of their daughter or their child. Now, they came to a financial agreement of a prenuptial agreement. The terms of that is not disclosed, but in that agreement, it was signed weeks, if not a week before their marriage. It was notarized by their lawyers and approved. So this was done very close to the wedding date. Very extremely close. If anyone's getting married with someone, your prenuptial agreement should be done months before the wedding. Months. The same problem happened with Dr. Dre. The same problem happened with Steven Jackson. Well, it was gonna happen to Steven Jackson. But women can contest a prenuptial agreement, or men, or whoever's in the prenuptial agreement. Now, what's funny is that Chad Johnson, his wife to be, his boo, his baby mother, is they talking about getting married and all that. So she wants to hit him with a prenup. She don't want him getting her money. So it does go both ways sometimes. But when you have a prenuptial agreement that close to the wedding date, a woman can say she signed it under duress. As you heard, as you seen Dr. Dre wife pull, as she's saying, "Hey, I didn't want to sign this. This was his idea. I was against a lot of this, but I was under a lot of pressure because he's a gangster rapper, and I didn't want to, you know, not submit." I'm not saying she's saying this. I'm just saying these are things that could be said. He applies a lot of pressure. So it's all a facade. What he's doing here, he's a gangster rapper, business owner, and he knows a lot of unsavory people. So I was under duress, and I was scared for my life. And once I married him, it was hell. But I stayed for our child. You see, it's a whole lot of angles, dirty games that these people play. And you got to be very careful when, however you move. Prenuptial agreement don't automatically save you. Has to be done right. You have to get an ironclad one to where no judge or anybody else can come in, and you have to sign that she did not sign this under duress, and she has to put that in there. You have to have certain aspects added to your prenuptial agreement. So, well, some of them have like they're not really prenups, they're like financial agreements saying if we've been married over 10 years, you get this bump if we separate. If we earned this much, you'll get a piece of this much money. They don't just leave their wives with nothing. Okay, I don't want people to just think that. Like they just leave their wives with nothing. No, it's not like that. They do leave with something. It's more of a financial agreement saying, okay, since the marriage we had over 10 years, and this has had this. That's why you see so many marriages like after 10 years, they split. They be like, man, why they leave after 10? Because they probably was done at 6, but they knew it was better to go the next 4 for the brand and everything else, and, and go ahead and get that 10 years in before you start filing. So it's a difficult situation for people. It's like you think you found the right person, and what you end up finding out is that person is for right now and not what you thought when you signed on for it. Well, I believe the reason that he did it is because he saw the post where she used his child, well, their child, and trying to promote his book, and she's really trying to portray like they're still a married couple and he doesn't want that, so that if the divorce was to come out or later, it looked like he was ambushing her, and that's why he released everything publicly to the press. The press wouldn't even been looking for this if this wasn't released to him. His agent said, let's release that we are filed for divorce and everything else, and here it is. So once that happened, and they put his child on display and doing all of these things to basically saying he's trying to promote his book that was out. She's trying to show she's a loving, supporting wife in the public eye, even though they've been separated all these years. So he don't know what game she's playing. So he's going to play the card out publicly so that the whole world know whatever she's doing now, forget that. We are getting divorced. I don't know what game she's playing using the kid and throwing him out there and putting my book out there and talking about, oh, we love, my loving husband and this and that. And he was like, I don't know what this is. We going public now. So that dwarfed anything about the book promotion thing she did with the kid. And, I don't even know if he wanted his child out there like that, you know, doing those type of things. But hey, that's their own business that I don't know about. But I could tell you, she was unfazed and unbothered, but trying to like keep a low profile at the fashion week when she was with those gay fashion designers at the fashion show. She kept a very low profile. Well, you look at it, hell, you know what Jeezy is. Damn, why is everybody playing this game? They know what it is. Now, when you start seeing situations and they apply themselves to a different, what would I call that? A different standard, right? When you have a different standard that's in place for you and not anybody else, you start having people react in different ways. You know what I'm saying? You start having people that's kind of on the goofy side and doing stuff that don't make any sense. That's not this case. These two people had their own businesses before they met. Like she has her own like whatever thing she does, but it was never on the scale of Jeezy. Jeezy already had his money, he already had his businesses. So when they were dating, they never crossed that path of okay, yours is mine, mine is yours. Something happened financially. Okay? And I'm gonna tell you that now. Something happened financially. Money was lost. And when things aren't going the way they should, when you start trying to make a turn to do something else and you start going in a different avenue, and as far as investments, real estate, and properties and things of that nature, and you're trying to build with your charity brand, you got your own record label, and you're trying to put artists out and do things, to give back, you are pretty much in a different boat. You got a lot of hats that you got to wear and to run all these businesses and be hands on a lot. Like Jeezy was hands on with a lot of the foundation. They give the appearance of we are a successful power couple, but they ain't got it like that. Like for where they at, they would be considered suburbia area compared to the rest of the moguls that's out there in the world, in the area and the ballpark they play in. So Jeannie has to do these fashion runways, and this is basically an audition place for auditioning and networking. And what she'll be doing is auditioning for another rich man to come into her life by wanting to be in her life, and they're arranged. You won't see celebrities on Plenty of Fish. They have their own avenue of doing that. Now, when people have algorithms and codes and when you want to change the algorithm, You're changing the agreement. You're changing a layout. You're changing a format. You're changing the way things go. And that's not necessarily going to fly with a lot of people. Now, word around the campfire is that Jeannie made some decisions pertaining to the finances and used them for other properties of her business. But those finances belong to Jeezy. Allegedly. That's word around the campfire. She was dipping in the cookie jar and took one too many cookies. He said you could take one cookie, but she had consistent cookies going out. And the money wasn't all there. Now people say, oh no, this is about an argument. She tried to tell Jeezy what to do. And Jeezy was like, no. She's like, that you always say, yeah. She at the bank, like, we need your husband's approval. Oh, I got it right here on this recording. Yeah. Okay, here's his access to his money. No, I don't work like that. No. Well, in your business, if you have a joint partnership, you have a dual signatureship, money can't go out unless both parties sign on the dotted line. That leads to problems a lot. It's a dual signature for payment. A lot of companies have that. Like a decision can't be rendered until the parties have to sign off. Like if money is to be released for expenditures or whatever it may be, you got to have more than one signature to get things approved. Sometimes it depends on what's actually happening. But yes, more companies and corporations own like that. You'll have your partners and it'd be like group of signatures from the owner, CEO, CFO. He normally would sign off on it to say we all signed off an agreement. Quite sure the owner doesn't have to get everybody's signature. He didn't have to, but if the CFO, the CEO, and everybody's signing off on it, I'm quite sure this takes it to a new playing field or new lane. Period. Well, when it's all said and done, we're gonna see where everyone lines up. Because obviously, oh my God, who is this? Because obviously people's agendas are not aligned. Well, I'm quite sure they'll learn how to get through it somehow. Anyway, I'm out. Love, peace, and hair grease.